Alright, you guys, welcome to the launch pad. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. I'm just excited to launch this thing. I have some struts, if you didn't notice. This part here is kind of a structural weakness, so I do have some struts in here to kind of keep it steady. And these struts go away once you eject the stage which they're attached to, so. Okay, up we go. We don't have a whole lot of thrust to weight ratio until I activate the middle engine, so we probably won't even get off the launch pad until I hit the spacebar twice. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, not moving up very fast. And the frame rate is actually getting affected by this. Interesting. Not sure if it's physics or if it's graphics. I'm pretty sure it's physics because I don't have a problem with graphics. It's got to be the physics calculations. I mean, it doesn't have a whole lot of parts, at least not compared to some behemoths that I see on YouTube. It's got about 160 parts, so not that bad. Well within our limits to even the second stage VAB. So I don't know. So it looks like we're accelerating at about 4 meters per second. Not a whole lot of acceleration, which is a real concern actually. I may need to look at adding more engines to this. Somebody asked me if, I forget who it was, they asked me, why do you revert? They were watching the video where I had that plane. I was in the mountains and I was just dinking around. They're like, if you're looking for realism, why do you revert your flights? And the answer is, I'm not looking for realism. I'm looking to have fun and play KSP and overall put a base on every single planet. That's what I'm here to do. I wanted more realism. I didn't want things to be like too... I wanted far because it's... Whoa, what is this? What is that? Why did that fairing come off? What is this? What? I also like reverting flights because of crazy, stupid crap like that. We were going 300 meters per second. Why did the fairing just decide to come off? Hold on, what is this? Revert, go to vehicle assembly. I want to know why that fairing came off. Another reason why I revert flights, and like I just did, that's called reverting a flight, when you go back in time and like it never happened, is because, engineering teams, Kerbals, whatever, scientists, whatever you want to call it, NASA, they have simulations. They run calculations and simulations all the time based on their designs, and there's not really a good way to do that in KSP. There is a mod that I don't know if it's compatible yet. I guess I could check that, but there's not really a good way to do that. So I figure if the launch fails, it's like you have to try and simulate what's going to happen, and then you fix your design so that it works. I think I like that part of it more than the grind of trying to figure out whether or not I'm going to fail career mode because I ran out of money. It's sort of trying to figure out what's wrong with your design and trying to fix it so that it works, and then go out and do what you want to do. It's fun. I'm not here for realism. I'm here to have fun, guys. Okay, so this fairing came apart, and I don't know why. But I think I might have to just kind of go without having... I liked the fairing because it made it look more real, like your realism again. It made it look more realistic because like rockets always have big fairings that protect their payloads, right? But this one just came apart like it was nothing. I'm not sure why it did that. It's got this seam here that I'm gonna maybe change this. Maybe I don't use the conic fairing. Maybe I use a different fairing base. Maybe it's or a different fairing material, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe I use the egg-shaped one instead of the conic one. Let's see. Ablative shielding. Made from the finest materials found in the fields around the Space Center. Conic version. Well, there's no difference between them. I mean, there's no difference. I thought about, look at this, litho brake expanded service bay. So this thing, you can open these doors, and it's perfect for a rover. It is so good. I thought about putting a rover on this and taking a rover too, but I would do that if I knew the biomes. Specifically if I knew the biomes and I knew mining resources, like where they were, because then it would be sort of be like starting a mini base at that point. And I'm not really ready to start a mini base on Minmus, so I'm not going to bring a rover. But I did think about that. I just happened to mouse over it, and I thought I'd mention that. I really don't know why that failed. I wish that the Airstream one here and the other things, I wish that they were 2.5 meters. So I need the science for that. But this one it says expanded, but this one says expanded, but I don't think it expands enough. I don't think it does anyway. I could check it. If I take this out, put this there. This is the one that comes with the stock KSP. So unable to click it. There we go. Yeah, it only goes straight up like that. So like it doesn't let me expand it. And then this is the Airstream protective shell. I could put that there. Now this will let me expand it, but is it go enough? No. It doesn't go enough to cover the whole thing. It's like it covers a 2.5 meter, but it doesn't cover anything that's attached on the top of or on the side of the 2.5 meter, which is why I like procedural fairings. I want to know why there's only 2 attachment points too. Like I wish there was 4, but whatever. If I put that there, that makes the egg-shaped fairing. There's a seam in the middle, and that seam is where it failed. I can't pinpoint why it did that. I don't know why it would do that. I don't know. It's a mystery, guys. We didn't have quite enough thrust to weight ratio either. I'm kind of thinking, at the last minute I added this tank. I made this tank twice the size. I had a smaller one and I made this one bigger. And I'm thinking that threw it off. It's kind of cheaty to do this, a little. And by a little I mean not really, there's not really any other way to describe it. But I'm thinking of making this 6-way. Yeah, I know it looks like a ton of engines. And it is a ton of engines, but I'm thinking I want to do that because I want to get to space. This thing just looks like it might fail again. I don't know. I give it a shot, I guess. Everything's still good with staging? No. Wow, my staging is messed up now. I'll fix it. Okay, so attempt number 2 at the Minmus Science 1 launch. I still want better names for these things. I don't know. Give me ideas, guys. How should I name my ships? What should I base it on? I feel like a theme is in order or something. I don't know. Flight engineer, here's good. We got FAR, that's good. I've added, again, I think 6-way is a little cheaty because I think they clip just a little bit on the edges here, and no engineer would allow that. But this is KSP, guys. Up we go. Oh, get up. Fire the other engine. Okay. I was gonna say I can't hear it. Hear the roar. The roar of, how many would that be even? 6-way, 4, 24, 28 KW Wildcats. We're gonna have a lot better frame rate once all these engines are gone. That'll get rid of a lot of parts. It'll get rid of 7 fuel tanks, 2 adapters, 28 engines. Yeah, and a couple of struts. It'll get rid of a couple of struts too. Okay, up we go. So we have a total of delta V of 4,000 at the moment, and it's kind of interesting as this fires and as this goes down, which we've got 3 minutes of burn left in this. This is awesome. But as this goes down, the delta V of the other stages goes up because it's getting lighter. So as you can see right now, if I zoom in really quick, the fuel that's in the center tank is not being depleted. These engines are all being depleted equally all around. which is pretty cool. So when these are done, we'll have just this one tank. What? Why is the fairing falling apart? I don't... 330 meters per second. Why? Why does the fairing fall apart, guys? Okay, you guys, so I don't know why that fairing was happening that way. If you guys know why that fairing was breaking, let me know down in the comments down below. The only thing I can think of is that it's 1.25 meter base. Maybe it can't handle a fairing that size. I mean, I did stretch it all the way up the body, and it was sort of extended out to like 3 meters or so. So maybe it was just too heavy and that little base can't take it. I really don't know. If that is the case, then I guess I learned something today. Yeah, I've gone ahead and I've made a few changes. Obviously, this isn't covered with a fairing anymore, but I still want this payload covered with the fairing. So that's going to be covered still. Then, I know it looks ridiculous. I do. But I think we're going to need just a tad bit more delta V. That ascent was a little slow for me. Didn't really like how slow that was. All right, welcome back to the launch pad. You can see that the boosters aren't actually straight up, but they're all symmetrical, so it should provide upwards momentum. They're not... Ooh, I did not strut them, though. Ooh, they're not strutted. That's not a good thing. Maybe it'll be all right. Maybe it'll be all right without strutted. We will see. They're not going to burn that long, I don't think, so... Let's give it a shot. Frame rate is horrible with all these parts. SAS on, thrusters all the way up, and the solid rocket boosters will not have enough thrust to get us all the way up, or will not have enough thrust to lift us up. So I'll have to activate the other engines before we'll actually lift off. So here we go. And our dismal frame rate continues once more. It's a pretty bad frame rate. But it's not that many parts, you know? It's just not that many parts. I don't know. Okay, so we're on our way up again. I think this one will be a better launch. I hope this one will be a better launch. I do have to worry about decoupling these solid rocket boosters. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal, but because of their angle, I can't really be sure that they're going to clear the craft like they're supposed to. I guess we will give it a shot and see. Here we go. Oh yeah, very clean separation. Very good, very clean. And, you know, destruction after that, but very clean separation before that. So I could probably take this opportunity to answer some questions, I guess, since we're kind of doing our thing. You guys are leaving comments, which is awesome. You guys leave questions sometimes, so I thought I would maybe answer some of them. That seems like a decent thing to do to pass the time. As long as I can, you know, maintain some focus on my vessel, not crash it while I'm answering the questions. Okay, so the first question is, usually, the biggest question anyway, is what are these things up here near my altitude? And the answer is that's Kerbal Engineer. It's a mod. Kerbal Engineer is the same thing that's also right here, Flight Engineer, if you will. Same thing. It's a mod. You should Google that and get that if you want to. Kerbal Engineer is probably, I would say, if there was one mod in the whole Kerbal Space Program universe, if you will, if there was one mod that every single player should have, if such a thing did exist, Kerbal Engineer would be that thing. Kerbal Engineer is, I think, should be something that is stock in this game. It should be anyway, but it's not. So you can kind of get similar information if you have an engineer like Bill here. If you have an engineer on board, you can get similar information. That's how I'm getting it now, actually, is because I don't have the Kerbal Engineer part installed on the craft, but because I have an engineer who is a Kerbal appropriately enough, I can still get that info, so that's good. Should be getting pretty close to the end of the delta V for these stages, for these little engines here. Pretty close anyway. We're supposed to be in space before I decouple these. At least my hope was to be in space before we decoupled these. Which may still happen, but I'm having my doubts. It's okay though. The next question was, what is this? FAR. All right, this is Ferrum Aerospace Research. I have talked about this a lot already in this series. If you want to know more about what Ferrum Aerospace Research might be, you know, you should. Whoa, what's going on here? Is that engine not firing? Oh, right, because I cut the. Oh, you dumbass! I cut the fuel lines. That's why I didn't want the fuel to be used during that flight. So turn this on, and turn this on. There we go. Now we have fuel. I don't need FAR anymore because we're out of the atmosphere. Ferrum Aerospace Research is only useful when you are in the atmosphere. Aerospace, giving aero as in aerodynamics as in atmosphere. Okay, so this stage will have, it says it has 0 meters per second, but I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably, there we go, yeah, because I'd never fired them before, that's why. So I have 1385 in that stage. Good. So we are now in space with our giant rig. Let's see if I can't get, I don't need solar panels or anything extended just yet. Let's raise my apoaps to, like, you know what, 88's good actually. Because it's probably going to raise up a bit more when I start to burn when I'm at the apoaps. So actually, I kind of want to keep my speed up though, because my orbital velocity is falling, and I just have to make it back up later. So if I can tilt myself over, and I'll just keep it to where it's at least climbing some more. Although, I'm still going kind of straight up, so if I could tilt myself over, that'd be nice. Anyway, next question was, I don't remember what the other questions was. Oh, you guys saw me bring up this little interface before. Somebody saw me do this in my, I think it was my RemoteTech landing practice video. This is called Ampere. That's the name of the mod is Ampere. It's right there on the headline there. It's sort of like a new power management mod. It takes a lot of the functionality that was available in a mod called Fusebox back in 1.05, 1.0.5. I was a big user of Fusebox. I liked that. This does a lot of the functionality, the same functionality it had, but it has this reserve power function, which I don't remember if that was in Fusebox or not. If it was, I don't remember using it, but it's been a while. It's like, before I started this series, I had not touched Kerbal Space Program for like 6 months, so I'm a little bit foggy on the specifics of other mods that I'm not using now, but that was, yeah, it's a pretty cool tool. I'm not entirely sure of the real function for reserve power. I guess it's so that you are able to transfer power to other sources that you deem more important. When in the event that you do drop battery to 0, you're able to sort of reallocate some other resources in a pinch to kind of prepare for that. Maybe if you forget or if you don't remember. The manager itself, to help balance it out, the manager itself does take charge. It drains 0.017 per second all by itself. So the manager itself, and I can shut the manager off if I want to. I can just turn it off, and then there's no management of my power. It's going to just run whatever it wants. That's kind of how that will happen. But I like the power manager just because it tells me when I'm getting low on power. Look at this long rocket. It's almost like a mini station, you know? Like, we could totally call this a space station. I'm not going to, because it's, well, I mean, some people would think this is a space station. I mean, we have the science, you have science and research, you've got life support systems active, you've got antennas, you've got experiments, you've got places for the crew to be, yeah, I mean, there's, I guess, adequate power resources, there's plenty of solar energy. It could be called a space station, I guess, if you wanted to. But I'm not going to. This is not my caliber of a space station. I can do better, guys. But we are on our way to Minmus. It's going to be great. Oh, I know. And I'm kind of like a little flighty right now. I'm kind of going all over the place, I know, with my with what I'm talking about. But I did want to discuss one other question I was asked and sort of go over and explain why I'm not, well, let me just explain it. So I was asked by a couple of different people so far. I'm going to extend my solar panels here just a little bit. Oh, come on, frame rate. Just a couple of them. I don't want to extend all of them. I was asked by a couple of people to upload all of the mods that I'm using and to just like zip them up in a in a zip file and upload them to like Dropbox or something for them. And the short answer to that is no, I'm not going to do that. And I totally didn't do the right solar panels. I wanted different panels extended, but whatever. I'm not going to do that, and primarily because you're asking me to distribute someone else's stuff, and I'm not going to do that. They distribute their own stuff. They have adequate hosting for their own materials. They have made their resources available to everyone who wants them, and you can find them just as easily as I did. I give you a list of everything that's there. The mod list is always in the description of every video, and that mod list is updated every time I go to play. If I have to update a mod, or if I choose to update a mod, or if I add a new one, or in the rare event that I take one away, I'm kind of addicted to these things, then that mod list is updated as of the current video that I'm recording. But most of these mods are going to stay forever, you know, and if you want them, then just go get them. You can Google search them. There's a forum post for almost every single one of them. And that gives you access to their GitHub. It gives you access to the details about the mod, the change log. You can get to learn about who is there. And if you have a problem with the mod, then you get someone to ask. You can actually see who's the developer and ask them directly. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different reasons why I'm not going to distribute their stuff. I don't even know, I don't know how the Creative Commons license works, but I don't even know if that's even legal for me to do that. But what I do know is that the experience of getting these mods is going to be way better for you if you get them yourself. Use CKAN, C-K-A-N. Google that, download that, connect your Kerbal Space Program game to CKAN. Okay, so you just go to the file menu, I think, in CKAN and just say select KSP install. It's probably your Steam folder if you download it from Steam. Select where your Steam folder is for Kerbal Space Program, and bam, up comes a list of every compatible mod that's in the CKAN database. And you can just click a whole bunch of checkboxes on all the ones you want and hit go, and it will just download and install them for you. I mean, how easy does it get? You don't have to Google. I'm not saying you have to find everyone individually, Google a name and then find the forum post and then find the GitHub and then download the zip file from them and then figure out where to install it on each and every one individually. I'm not saying that. Absolutely not. That's terrible. I'm saying that these are super easy to get. Even, just use CKAN. I don't use CKAN for every mod. I use it for the vast majority of them. I have about 109 installed right now as I'm playing, and I believe about 104 of them are installed through CKAN. The ones I don't have installed through CKAN are usually the visual ones. Ven's stock revamp, for example, is not through CKAN. Not through CKAN. You can get it through CKAN. It's available on CKAN. I just chose not to install it through CKAN. No real reason why, I guess. I just chose not to at the time. And once you install it without CKAN, then CKAN doesn't install it for you. You have to get it out of the folder so CKAN can put one in. Another one that I don't do from CKAN, and you shouldn't either, actually, is stock visual enhancements, which is what makes Kerbal, which is what makes Kerbin look so good on my game anyway. The frame rate's a little bit jittery because of all the parts here, but this is what makes CCAN, or this is what makes Kerbin look so good and have the clouds and all this other stuff. It's environmental visual enhancements. So if you're going to download something like stock visual enhancements, if you do it through CCAN, you get almost no control over what files you download. CCAN's just going to download it for you, and it will probably be like the low resolution version, probably. I don't really know that, so maybe you can confirm. But if you download it through the developer directly, which the developer themselves has been open about not supporting CCAN. He just doesn't, I don't know, but doesn't believe in it, but he would rather distribute it differently. That doesn't mean CCAN doesn't see the mod. You can still download stock visual enhancements directly through CCAN. It's still available. CCAN can pick it up and knows where to look for it, and it's in its database. But the developer does not openly and willingly support putting it on CCAN, and he tells people on the forum post for his mod to download it directly because it's more complete. It comes with more complete files, and on top of that, you get to choose whether or not you want the low resolution version, the medium resolution version, the high resolution version, or the ultra resolution version, which is what I'm using. Which, if you have a good enough computer to handle it, go ultra, but it's there so that you can have an experience that matches your hardware. So don't think you have to get ultra because you're gonna miss out on something. You're not. It's just slightly sharper text. If you're not playing in 4K like I am, then you're not gonna notice anything different with ultra resolution anyway. So you can cater the mod and the download to your own play. And the ultra resolution version is over 100 megabytes. The mod is over 100 megabytes big. It's huge. But if you get the high resolution version, it's like 10 megabytes. If you get the medium resolution version, I don't know, it's like 4 or something. Low resolution is like 3 or something. I don't remember, but you're able to cater it to your experience that way. And I don't want to just shove a whole big zip folder, at you and say, here's my mods, and then you put them in your game and your game crashes because your system can't handle it. I have a beast of a machine. I don't know what kind of machine you have, but I'm pretty sure that if you loaded up every mod I have and you just start your game, you're not going to have fun playing it unless you have a system that's equal or is near mine. So there's a whole bunch of different reasons why I'm not going to do that. Both the questionable legality of it and just the nature and the ethics of it. I'm not going to upload other people's stuff. You can get their stuff. They've uploaded it for you. It just takes a little bit of work. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it. So that's my response to the people who want me to upload my mods. I'm not going to do that. What I may do in the future, which may be helpful, if I take the time to do it, I don't know if I will or not. I guess it depends on whether or not enough people want me to do it, or whether or not I care. I don't know. I may take my mod list that I have on Hot Tips, which again, link in the description of every single video. I may take that list, and instead of having the list be just text, I may turn the text into actual links that take you to the mod itself. That means I have to go in and track down and find the direct forum post link for every single mod, which, you know what? I mean, that's what I just told you shouldn't have to do. And now I'm saying that I might do it. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. It takes a ton of work for that to happen, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. But I'm just saying, it's stuff is easy to find, and you guys can totally find it. Okay, so we need to find a transfer to Minmus. I've been talking all day. I talk for my job, so I talk a lot. Sorry guys, just what I do. It's become a part of who I am. Let's stretch this out. Actually, let's not stretch this out because we need to fix our inclination before we stretch that out. So, not sure why I went out of map view. Let's set Minmus as the target because that's where we're going with these guys. This might end up being a long video. I may have to split it up into multiple videos. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. I'm not sure how I'm gonna cut this yet, so I may upload it as one big video, or I may upload it as a series of smaller videos. I'll probably do the series of smaller ones just because I think the majority of people find shorter videos easier to watch, more ingestible. I think was easier to ingest, I think was the term that was given to me, that was said to me. So I may do that, but Let me know what you guys think about that. Also in the comments, because that's the place you would do that at. And yeah, do you prefer having shorter videos that are just sort of like to be continued kind of thing, or would you rather have like one long video? You know, I don't know. I'm going the wrong way on this node, I know that. Come on. You know what? You're too touchy. So I'm gonna leave you just like that, and you're gonna like that. That's the node we're gonna do. So let's get ourselves pointed at it, which means going this way. Okay, so we have a science bay or a science mobile processing lab. That's what it's called. I can't do it. Ven's stock revamp has a graphics problem with this part, where if you hover your mouse over it, the windows become transparent, so you can see like right through the whole vessel. So if that annoys you, I'm sorry. That's part of Ven's stock revamp has that problem right now. There are a couple of parts that do that, but I think the only one that's really of any, the only one that we're gonna really notice, I guess, is gonna be that part probably. Come on, up you go, or down you go. Actually, down you go. This pig is really hard to rotate with these reaction wheels. I could activate the RCS, but the thing is, RCS is not a renewable resource, and I would rather keep the RCS if I can help it. So since my node is in 11 minutes and I don't need to be there right away, I'm just gonna do it slowly. You can save yourself electric power too if you turn off SAS when you're trying to maneuver. Then your craft will just continue to naturally rotate the way it was anyway. That's how space works. So then once you're near where you want to be, just activate your SAS and, you know, try to counter steer. And, you know, maybe do it a little bit faster than I did, because I didn't do it fast enough. Oh man, this pig is hard to slow down, hard to speed up. Wow, it's still moving away from me. That's crazy. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Get back over there. So what we're gonna do now is burn downward when the time is right, or southward, or however you want to say it, when the time is right. And actually, I probably don't need this fairing anymore. I could probably shed the weight if we didn't have that fairing. Yeah, I would think that fairing is unnecessary at this point, so let's go ahead and get rid of it. Where is the fairing? It's this one. So we'll stage that. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you rotating? Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on. Oh, wow. Why are you going back? That's crazy. It just really wants to go that way. Is there something pulling it that way? I don't have any like commands telling it to go that way. I have the opposite. I have the command telling it to go the exact opposite way. All right, here we go. Oh, now we're gonna wow. Well, this is the downside of reaction wheels. You always go a little bit too far. I should probably not make fun of my pilots anymore when they do this. Jebediah, if he could laugh. I'd like to believe that he laughs a lot, but if he could laugh, he would totally be making fun of me right now. Okay. So let's go ahead and do some time acceleration. I'll get rid of the fairing after I burn, whatever. When I'm out of the dark. Just because, I don't know, whatever. I'd rather get this node over with. Let's see, 381 meters per second of delta V left in this stage, and we have less than that to burn, so I'm pretty happy with that. The ship keeps wanting to leave the node. It does not want to stay in that spot. Okay, here we go. Getting ready to burn. And wow, it just really does not want to stay there. Go. You'll stay there now. Yeah, that's how I want it. Burn, burn, burn. And keep it going. I think I burned too far there, but I think it'll be all right. Take a look at the nodes. 0.1, I'm all right with that. Okay, so we've fixed our inclination with Minmus. Now let's go ahead and get Minmus, get an encounter with Minmus. So right now we're gonna get into Minmus, but we're gonna get into it way over here. So let's burn retrograde. That'll slow us down, which means Minmus will have some more time to come up and catch us. All right, so now it's going to be 152, but it's on the wrong side. I want to orbit the right way. So let's go a little bit more retrograde. Just a little bit. Come on. I want to go really light. Oh, come on. Oh, a little bit more. There we go. Oh, come back. Nope, too touchy. Back up. Back it up. Come on. Ultra low sensitivity. Come on. Oh, so close. 65. You know, that's not bad. I'd like to be lower, though. I really would. So let's get it in a little bit more. Just a touch. Oh, so, my gosh, you're so sensitive. Come back out. 54. All right, which direction is this going? 899. Okay, let's do 899. Let's go down little bits. Just little bits here until we get where we want. What's that? 54. Well, that's weird. Okay. So that's as close as we can get then. I doubt I can burn that precisely anyway. Yeah, now it's 75. I don't understand. How does it change now? Whatever, it's cool. 75 it is. This big, massive tank in the back is really weighing us down. Once this tank goes, once this tank leaves, we'll be able to control our vessel a lot better. My reaction wheels and things are all sort of, they're all sort of made to not have this here. This is actually lasting longer than I thought it would, so, which is a good thing, but I mean, I figured this transition burn that I'm about to make, you know, I thought I would have to make it all entirely on the Terriers, so I am surprised and happy that I do not have to do it all on the Terriers. We can actually get some science here, which is really great. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of this fairing. I don't need this. Can I just right-click deploy? I'm gonna stage it the way it's supposed to be staged. That's fine. Oh, the lights. Let's stage this. And then we are going to, what? No, the payload is, what? Why is the payload out? I just wanted the shell off. This isn't, crap. That's not connected. This has no connection. This is a dead weight.